So you're here, desktop, plugged in, booted up. When you connect to Wi-Fi, you should see USR W610. So you might need to restart it by unplugging the cable in the back, restarting it again just in case. But try to connect to it. Getting enough signal is the hard part. And you can also do this wired. So that's another option. So I physically open it up and you see this is the module here. And I connected an internet cable to the Wi-Fi router. So you can do this wireless here at least, but the signal, I should be able to get it clear now, be able to connect. Okay, I had to try it a couple tries, but now you see it says USR-W610. I had to restart it, the module here, on and off, but anyways, now here. So now what you do is type in, so it is in the manual, you see last page, the 10.10.100.254, so. And username admin, password admin, also describes it in the manual. See right here. Okay, so right now, default is in Chinese, so you could turn this to English. Press the button here. Okay, so I'll explain what the different settings is. So mode, AP mode, that's access point. So access point being, you know, if I click on the Wi-Fi and then I see different SSIDs to connect to, that'd be considered an access point. While the other option would be the STA mode, where it just connects to one network, and you go from there. So, okay. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna try and do this in STA mode, and you see AP SSID. So I'm trying to connect it to the Wi-Fi. So what I could do is click search, and this module is only on 2.4 gigahertz, so it doesn't work on the 5 gigahertz band. Not enough range. So you can see the different SSIDs I have in my networks. This is my Wi-Fi. Right, then you type in your security key. It's WPA, this one, AES encryption, and then the key is your password, so. And then open internet. Do you want the device to be connected to the internet so you could access the internet from this device? I'll leave it enabled, and then you can set the internet work mode so you can make this into a WAN port, meaning it could actually connect your desktop or laptop to this device, and it could access the internet from there. Right now, I was just going to connect to it, just keep it as LAN to the Wi-Fi router. And transparency mode is important because this device 900 runs on 9600 baud rate, so you change 9600. And everything else you can leave the same, so just apply that. This is to connect to a server, so you don't have to worry about this part. And I do mode select. You can see it's already STA mode, transparent. The first menu is just a quick configuration, so if you want to see more detailed, right, like how the network actually works, IP address, all that, subnet. STA interface. So that's what we're working on currently, right? Wi-Fi password. And you can access an access point and STA mode, but you don't have to do that. Just leave it at that. Wi-Fi UART. Internet port. So you connect to a server, go directly to a server. Port forwarding, device management. So that's where you see your account and password. And everything seems fine. So now what we could do is actually restart the module, and it should auto connect to the Wi-Fi that we currently have. So you click restart and rebooting. So you won't be able to connect to it from the Wi-Fi anymore. See, it's not gonna be able to connect. It's rebooting. So I'm just gonna connect back to my Wi-Fi. Doesn't matter which Wi-Fi is, 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, but. Go back. This is the menu for the Wi-Fi router to see what's connected to Wi-Fi. So 192.168.1.1 for Linksys router, but I don't know what yours is. It might be an app or something like that, depending on the Wi-Fi router. But I just want to see what's connected to the Wi-Fi to see if it's successfully connected to the Wi-Fi or connected to the internet, because currently it's an internet cable, but also can be done wirelessly. Okay, you can try restarting the device. So unplugging the power, plug it back in. Okay, so you see I had to restart the device physically by unplugging the power, but now you see USR W610, and I click device info, and you can see I have an IP address assigned to it. So currently connected to the internet, but I'll just show you that for now because it's a little bit easier. So you have the IP address, copy it. Now you could open up terminal software like PuTTY. Right, you could do... I tried a lot of these, so I think the SSH would be login to desktop. So you could do like raw, and you can type in the IP address, and then the port is 8899 if I'm correct. So it should open up, and it should be receiving signals. So you'll see the RS-232 come from here, go to the board, and you should be seeing, if there's a signal coming from it, going to it correctly, you should see the receive light flashing. So currently it's not, so let's check the settings. So it's not turned on, so turn it on. Okay, see, currently on. And you now see the scale. You see it flashing RxD. That's how you know it's receiving a signal. It's receiving signal to the device. And you can see on my desktop, you can see the reading currently. So you could change the string output. This is currently for a scoreboard, so let me just change this. It's continuous 4, and battery is still 3. And you can see currently 0 kgs on it. And now it's connected to the internet. So now anything connected to the network is a local network. So anything connected to the Wi-Fi, now you have this IP address or whatever your IP address your device is. When you set it up, it's going to be random depending on your router. Now you're able to put terminal software and now get the live reading. Right, you can see it's constantly changing. Right, if I added something to the scale, you'll see what the current weight is. So the link part, actually linking to network is the hard part. I did it to internet, and I used the STA mode. Right, rebooting, so we will have access to it. But that's how you connect our device to the internet. And you can play around with the settings, but STA mode is the one I found worked the best. So thank you. Bye. So if you ever make any mistakes, okay, you could always reset it, or it's not connecting properly. So how to like factory reset it? There's actually a switch underneath here. It's hard to see, but you need to put like a pick. I use a mini screwdriver. So hold it in here for like 10 seconds. You know it's not working, or working because the link light won't link anymore. If it was working before, the RX will always show up because the indicator's on. So don't worry about that one. This light will always be flashing. So you gotta unplug this one, or unplug it from the wall plug, either way. We plug it in. Let's see. This is work. Let's see if it shows up on the computer. So it should show up like just how we factory restarted it. So it should go back to what original settings were. So we're trying to see if it shows up on the Wi-Fi. It always happens to me. I had to try a couple tries. So don't feel bad if you don't get the first try. We're just still holding it with the screwdriver in. So once you have it connected, you can also just log in by typing the IP address in a web browser. So it's the admin. Right, you still configure it. So another way to actually reset it, and it seems like a lot of these settings already were reset, but it'll still link to the Wi-Fi router. So much easier way is just do it through the web browser. Because I still have the internet cable connected, and I'm not able to access the access point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So I usually connect the internet cable, and then you can see a lot of these settings are reset. Because I saw when I checked my Linksys router, I saw it's still connected, and you can still see device info. So I have the IP address, the local IP address, say. So you see all the settings were cleared for me doing that. Right, even the baud rate was 300, so right, you could restart the module and load default here. That's what the switch is doing, load default. So anyways, back to quick configuration. Right, these are the settings I use. So I want to show you how to do it on Wi-Fi. So let me just unplug the internet cable. Let me verify. Right, still 2.4, still correct. Right, so right now it's STA mode. So same thing, you search, you type in a Wi-Fi router, or you can just type out the name. But it's much easier to click search because then it will actually, don't make a mistake on the name. Let's see if it shows up here. Okay, here it is. All the links is right. Click this, click apply, and you type in the Wi-Fi password. Still same. If you want to use the LAN port on here as a LAN port or the WAN port, it's up to you. Right, LAN or WAN. Right, 9600. Make sure that's correct. Transparency mode. And this is the port I'm talking about. So the 8899. When you try to log in remotely, you can just say network. You want to make sure that the IP address you have, and this is the port. So you don't need to change this because this is the one that's widely available. And you can check. This is just more detail for each individual setting. Right. See, if this was an access point, you can make it show up as one of the networks. Here, that's what it means by access point. So, currently have an STA mode. Right, and you can also assign a static IP address if you want it to not change. Because if it does change and you don't know what it is, and you get to check your router again and search for it. So, if you want to set a static IP address, so it's always the same, you can do that as well. Or you try to connect to it. I'm going to do raw. You could try some of these other ones, but you can see currently negative 28 kilograms. So it's connected to wirelessly to my network. So I set it up first as with internet, and the most important part was just on the quick configuration. Most of it done here. When you do the Wi-Fi settings, make sure you type in the Apple SSID search password. So now it's connected to internet, and I can actually unplug the cable. And it's still receiving it, and you can verify with your router settings. You can see mine still shows 2.4 gigahertz. So now you can place the scale anywhere, and now you know how to work. And that's the setup scale. So thank you. Bye.